Broadcasting from Hollywood, California, it's Grant's Rants, Hollywood Talk.
Lindsay Lohan teases her first song in 11 years. I've got everything you need to know about Britney's conservatorship drama. Brandi Glanville and Tamra Judge get messy, and we rant about Dallas and OC Housewives. That and more with the Bravo historian Sam Bush right here. Let the ranting begin. I am joined by Sam Bush, better known as @Bravo Historian on Instagram. Welcome to the Rants.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, it's nice to meet you through the Skype.
I know, this is so 2019.
Right?
We are podcasting about Bravo via Skype.
Through an Instagram handle that's just taking over. So yeah, very 2019. There's so much in this episode. I can't wait to get started. I always like to reference how we know one another. I mean, just through the Instagram. I had Faces by Bravo, Steven, on this podcast recently. He said, oh my God, you're going to love her. So we connected, and here we are.
Yeah, Steve is one of my best friends who I know through the interwebs as well. We've never actually met in person, but we talk every single day. We text. It's he knows more about my life than people actually in my real life.
You know, we're all cut from the same cloth, whether we like it or not. You know what I mean? We're all so into the same stuff.
And we're so into it.
So into it. And speaking of into it, before even we get into the Bravo stuff, this Lindsay Lohan Xanax song, I'm so into it. I need to launch right into my rant of the day.
Grant, rant of the day.
My rant of the day is 100% going to Lindsay Lohan for a good thing for this new song, Xanax. Sam, thoughts? Are you listening? Have you heard it?
I've heard it. I'm obsessed with it. I need her to start coming out with more music. I need her to have red hair again with a heavy side bang, much like her Rumors era. I love it.
I love the song. I think if I were to really judge it, do I really think it's fantastic? I don't know, but it's Lindsay, so I'm taking whatever I can get, and I'm loving listening to it right now. It's on repeat way too much. I'm just burning through it. It made an appearance originally on, here we go, Virgin Radio Dubai, a podcast. The host played a teaser of it, and it's described as being about anxiety, pressure, and taking care of yourself. I mean, sure.
Yeah, sure. If that's what you want it to be about, I guess.
I'll take it. And
it's not Lana Del Rey. It's not life-changing.
Right.
But it's a bop.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, this is changing my life because my standards are just so low. But and I've just waited for so long for something. So this has been out in the universe, this clip since since August 28th, and we still have not received the full single, which is ridiculous because I don't know what they're waiting on. It's been out now for weeks, this clip. I need the whole thing.
I know. She gave us a little taste, and I'm just ready for more. You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting.
Yes. And honestly, let's take a look at some of the lyrics here. I have them pulled up. And just first of all, it starts with, I don't like the parties in LA. I go home. We all know, Lindsay, the parties in LA made you. I don't want to hear it from the beginning already. I'm what is this?
Yeah, and where is home? In New Jersey? Or is she talking about Mykonos?
Probably Mykonos or Dubai. Probably Dubai.
Or Dubai, yeah. That's her new place. Yeah,
I mean, who knew that a Dubai podcast would get the hookup on the song? I mean, usually people go to Z100 or but all right, there's hope for me yet. In a bad mood, pass out, wake up alone, just to do it all over again. Oh, looking for you, cutting down to a chorus. She's basically at this point screaming or screeching this. I can't even say it's really singing, but I'll take it. I can't be in this club. It's too crowded and I'm effed. Ain't nobody here for love. Ain't nobody care about us. I got social anxiety in 3 syllables, but you're like Xanax to me. I'm here for it. This just goes to prove how I'm desperate for music. What are your thoughts on what are your final thoughts on Xanax? I mean, I could go into this for an hour.
I mean, there's a lot. It's a lot to unpack. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's talking about having social anxiety. Who is the person she's kissing? Like, I have questions.
Yeah, another ride for the night, like after talking about getting high. And it's like she's still playing into that narrative that she tried to escape, which is the Oprah show. But now it's like coupled with, this is me taking care of myself. Like,
yeah,
you can't do
journey.
both. Like, you can't ride both lines. Like, you're doing self-help, but yet you're willing to get high for the night. Like, I mean, you just can't. You have to pick a lane. Like, who are you? What are you trying to get out of this? You know?
Poor Lindsay. she's been through it.
She's really been through it, but I'm into it. And this has been my rant of the day. I'm obsessed.
That's my opinion.
Now let's make a transition over to Free Britney, because this is really like a huge deal, and I want to get your thoughts on this. I've been covering this on the podcast in bits and pieces for a long time now. You know, this is really the year of her conservatorship. Like I said, still covering it. And basically, here's like all you need to know, and then we'll react to it. The conservatorship is still under investigation. There's been a mental evaluation made, apparently, with Britney. Her conservator / captor, her father, Jamie, on August 25th, violently shook one of her sons, broke down the door, and now Kevin issued a restraining order against Jamie he got it issued against both of their sons. And at this point, like, there's been a request made that Jamie temporarily be replaced as Britney's conservator with some chick named Jody Montgomery, and she's her care manager. And also, you know, the big thing is, like, now she's lost custody of her sons. They filed this restraining order. He stepped down as her conservator because he has to be there when she visits with her kids. So now she sees them 70% of the time, 30% of the time. And so basically, like, is he responsible for her losing custody? Like, how is she the one paying the price for this?
I think he has such a control over her. And obviously, because he's been the conservator since 2008?
Yeah.
Has he? Yeah. So I think it's just a way of like, okay, well, if you want me out of this conservatorship, then I'm going to make sure that you don't spend as much time with your kids. And then it just gives all the power back to him. I just think he's like so manipulative. Yeah. I was up one night like at 3 a.m. in a Twitter wormhole studying Free Britney like a couple months ago because I'm obsessed with it.
It's the biggest, most unreported story. It is nowhere to be found on TV. E! News Live or whatever did a little thing on it, but they just talked about like her custody thing with Kevin. They didn't even really scratch the surface as to really what's going on. I don't understand why this is not being covered. It's strictly because of censorship. I mean, that's all I can think of is that, you know, her team is keeping this like completely out of the limelight, but it's ridiculous because this is really like a bigger issue of conservatorship abuse, in my opinion. However, now we're dealing with new Britney on a mission, dyed hair, brown, and now it looks black to me. A lot of blackout vibes. What do you think of this change?
This change is a cry for help. This change is like Britney is not a brunette. She's not supposed to have brown hair. That's not how we know Britney Spears. When she had brown hair, it was like during blackout.
Yeah, that whole era.
Yeah, that whole era.
That was the rebellion era, like when she was really trying to, get out from under all of this control. And like, I can only imagine, like, I view her as a prisoner. I really do. A prisoner for money, like a show pony, a modern day show pony. And
she's literally a show pony.
Yeah, it's really
That's
gross.
The perfect way to describe her.
Well, she vacationed in Hawaii and she celebrated her son's birthdays. So like she's trying to do like things to keep herself distracted, but that new conservator, Jody, on her first day filed for an extension of her conservatorship into all these different states, like Massachusetts, and like I'm wondering like if they're trying to get the whole country covered and they can only submit for like maybe like 7 at a time or something, because I don't understand this. And, I really like, this is a woman who is functioning and willing to, and able to take care of herself. I don't understand why she has to be conserved like this. It doesn't make sense to me. To me, it's blatant abuse, in my opinion.
Well, and it's been going on for so long. Like when I was in my like wormhole of Britney, a couple months ago, like a lawyer was commenting on it who deals with conservatorships and everything. And she's like, the fact this has been going on for over 10 years is alarming because not only has it been going on for 10 years, but also keep in mind, like, she's done a Vegas residency. She's done world tours. She's had perfumes. She's had this. So it's like she's able to do all of those things and function, but yet she can't have her kids. Like, none of that makes sense.
And that really, really pisses me off with the kids because it's been a long time rumored that they've kept her in check with the constant threat of her losing custody of her kids. And it's like, if you step out of line, they're gone. You know, if you, you know, allegedly, but like, this has all been like, you know, been out there as well, like that is kind of the bargaining chip that they've used. And of course, as a mom to young kids, like, you don't want to risk that just so you can drive to Starbucks, but I get it. I mean, she also should be able to do that as well. I'm really, really fired about this. I went to the Britney rally. For anyone new listening, I did cover that on this podcast, the Free Britney, rally, really, at West Hollywood City Hall. I'm really, really into this. I've been following this so closely. There's an article that The Blast put out, which I thought was very irresponsible on, it was on 9/11, and it basically says that Britney made it clear through her legal team she's totally fine with the conservatorship. And that was basically what the headline said. Now, if you read this article, you'll realize that there's no issue and no objection, but that was something that they said to the judge about the new conservator, this Jody that stepped in temporarily. So, in my point of view, this is a lawyer telling Britney, let's not contest this. We're contesting the conservatorship, and there's going to be a hearing on September 18th. Let's not delay this. We'll take on the temporary conservator, and then we're going to fight to remove the conservatorship at large in September. Because I think if she fought that, it would have delayed everything. So this was very irresponsible of The Blast, because the more I read into it, it was about placing this temporary conservator in Jamie's role, not about the conservatorship at large. We know that Britney's tried to get out of this not once but twice. So I don't buy that she's okay with it.
I don't either. I think this is all just about control over her finances and to make her just do whatever they want. So they're holding, like you said, they're holding her kids over her, and it's pretty disgusting.
I wanted to compliment The Blast, believe it or not, in a way, because they've been covering the story the way no one else has. But then they put out this article and this clickbait that she's okay with the conservatorship and doesn't contest it. She allegedly stood before a judge and said her father forced her to take medication and she was put into a mental facility because of all of this. I mean, I do believe that she is trying to get out of this. I mean, her mother has hired lawyers that say differently, that they're trying to emancipate her. So that article really pissed me off, and I don't think it was necessary at all.
Yeah, and I just remember, after the whole Free Britney thing really became a movement, especially on Twitter, I remember they put her, out on the streets, after rehab. They had, they had paparazzi staged, basically, to show everyone, oh, Britney's okay, she's leaving rehab with her boyfriend. She was in her little sundress, but still had the rat nest hair and the smoky eye. Yeah,
the hair. I hate to say the hair because that's the least of her problems, but oh God.
Oh
yeah. I mean, she just needs so much help. It's just such a shame, And I mean, I'm not even saying mental health. I can't speak to her mental state, but I mean, she needs someone on her side besides all these security guards and all this stuff. And that's the gross part is she can't choose her team. Apparently this woman, this Jody who took over for her care, is responsible for who she sees and what security she has. So, she's really kept, it sounds like she's kept like a prisoner. You can't have any girlfriends over without prior approval. You can't have an ally in someone that works for you. They all report to somebody. Everyone in your life reports to somebody else. So, I mean, it just really pisses me off. She even put on Instagram a post along the lines of that she's been behaving for 10 years. And I think that's very telling. Her Instagram has a lot of tea leaves if you read through them.
It really does. I think that's the only thing she can really control. And I think that's her outlet to speak to people because she's not really allowed. And I just think Britney just wants to live on a farm in Louisiana with her boys and paint flowers and little squiggles. She doesn't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, and I'm okay
as
with
much
it.
as we love her, but like I love her and I'm okay with her retiring. And you brought up such a good point that I honestly have never thought of is no one's talking about this. But if this was like Justin Bieber, everyone would be talking about it.
Yeah. Where is this is a prominent figure. Is it because she's a woman? Is it because the media has painted her as crazy and people just wrote her off? Like, I know her true fans know that that's not the case. I mean, she's been in this business for a long time and accomplished a lot. And if she's capable of making all these people all this money, I have said this so many times and I'll say it for like one final time. Being in a conservatorship means that you are incapacitated and you cannot take care of yourself. That is not the case, and anyone can see that. I mean, she's on Insta stories. I mean, come on. Well, there's a status hearing coming up. As far as we know, it's still on for September 18th, and I've been waiting all summer for this. I really hope this has a happy ending. I don't know. I know her father has Michael Jackson's lawyers. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I feel... don't know how to feel. But if there's any justice in this world, give this woman at least a little bit more freedom. I mean, Jesus.
I just want the best for Britney. I really do. Whatever that means for her, I just want the best. Yeah. And I want her to be happy and healthy with blonde hair. And I just want her to keep doing her and doing her little photo shoots on Instagram. Those seem to make her so happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine if she stepped away from the business, but also, like... I feel like an amazing album could come out of this. I don't need it, but she's just been going through such a you-know-what storm. I mean, like, this could really prompt, like, a whole new type. And I pray that if that happens, it's with a whole new team. She needs a whole new team because the people that have been working for her have been really doing nothing for her, especially promotion and that album they did. The only thing they're really promoting is the Elizabeth Arden... what is it, perfume stuff she has. But I mean, they need to figure something out because they only put her on Ellen. I mean, there's no promotion going on. Like, where are her, like, the next album of greatest hits? Like, she could be doing so much and it's so frustrating, instead it just seems like everyone's just collecting a check. Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. It's very, very sad.
Well, let's move on to kind of another sad state, I guess you could say, but we're going to have a good time because it's Grant's Friends. But Brandi Glanville, this new YouTube show, Drinking and Tweeting, I saw the first full 3 episodes. What the world is going on? Thoughts and opinions?
I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with the fact that she's always in a trucker hat that's never fully on her head. I love that she's just so unhinged, but in the best way.
That's the perfect word.
And she's like in some sort of like lingerie thing.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't even look comfortable in her bed. She just is literally propped up, like sitting on her knees, just like talking to a camera. It's so amazing.
For those not aware of this amazing piece of art, it's Brandi Glanville in a nightie on her bed, surrounded by books that she published. Like, when did that book come out? Like 4 years ago.
2011.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she's there and it's called Drinking and Tweeting. They're all on YouTube if you're interested. I sat through all of them because I wanted to be able to report accurately for you on Grant's Rants. But yeah, I mean, unhinged is really the best word. I mean, she is just all shades of crazy, but I enjoy her because she's keeping it all the way real. From a production standpoint, like, I don't know how you reel her in to even get her to sit down and do it. I could not imagine having to produce that digital series for her and having to, like, get her to focus and, like, try to adhere to a format. Like, they tried to have segments, and I was like, oh my God, this poor guy producing this piece.
It's just the editing of it. Like, how do you even edit all of that? And, like, it probably takes forever because of her ramblings.
She's like talking, then like the screen turns pink and she's looking through her phone, and then she finds out that someone's mom died, and then she needed like a minute, so she walked off. And then she comes back like everything's great and wonderful again, and she's just like talking about Potomac. Like, that's it. I just described the whole thing.
You really did. She really did. That's amazing. But yeah, and she just comes for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's so insane.
She's working overtime to get press for this. I mean, she is trying to start a mess, I think, especially with Tamra.
Oh, with Tammy Sue. Oh, my God. Tamra, I Oh, yeah. We are going to talk about Real Housewives of Orange County for sure. But this whole mess with Brandi befriending Kelly Dodd, which I think is some like iconic duo in the making, she is really coming for Tamra. Yeah. And Tamra is not backing down, and it's really kind of scary.
It all started because Tamra compared Kelly Dodd to Brandi and said she's not stable. She's like Brandi Glanville. And so Brandi ran with this. She bit back. And then, the whole she threw, at least my 2 kids talk to me, threw that at her. It's just like the lowest blow. But what do we expect? It's Brandi.
It's Brandi. Like, you expect these things from her.
Yeah.
But like she always said, I remember at all of the reunions and everything, when she was on Beverly Hills, she would always say, like, you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. And I'm like, that is so true. Because she'll be pretty quiet about things until you bring her into them. And then she's like full blown talking about Joanna Krupa's like smelly.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Brandi, I don't feel bad for you. That comment about you being compared to Kelly Dodd is the best thing that can happen to you. You just launched this show on YouTube and we're talking about it. And I can tell you I wouldn't be covering this if it wasn't for your feud with Tamra. So you got me to watch and you got me to talk about it. So I don't want to hear it. Apparently Tamra wanted to get a lawyer involved. Brandi called her the C word. Tamra
always wants to get a lawyer involved. Like, there's always got to be some sort of, like, action being taken. I'm like, no, Tamra, you've said horrible things about everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, it's the name of the game. Like, if you're in this, like, that's just how it goes. It's mudslinging all the way around. I mean, what do you, again, it's Brandi Glanville. What do you expect?
I know.
I can't. So now Kelly is head over heels with, I think, very appropriate, this Fox News anchor, Rick Leventhal, for those wondering. Very quick. They met in July, and now they're already like.
They met at Ramona Singer's house.
Of course, she would have like amazing? Multiple Fox News correspondents come over.
Oh my god! And I've truly like seeing her and that doctor on the OC was so cringy because he's the biggest creep. Yeah. He just looks creepy. And then when I found out that she was with this Rick Leventhal, I was like, they're a match made in heaven. Like, they look like they would be together.
They do, don't they? He looks like he would stir the pot, too. He looks like a troublemaker.
He looks messy.
Yeah.
He looks so messy.
Yes.
But he looks like someone that could, like, really talk shit. And I always love that.
That doctor, though, in the most recent episode of Orange County, where she, like, walked down her spiral staircase and he was, like, chilling in an Airbnb. Like, I don't know what that was about. And he's there in his full scrubs. Like, his full, like, ready to go into surgery.
Like, we know you're a doctor. Like, that's so dirty.
Yeah, that was too much, even for me. And, like, I love Kelly, but even that was too much. But she replied, I don't know what it was in response to, but she said, that's weird because we're getting married 10-10-2020. And then she's not even engaged. So, like, I don't know what to do with that information, but.
So she posted on her Instagram story, I think yesterday, that they landed because they were on this, like, big, like, European vacation where she also said to Tamra that she's never been on a yacht before. That was like in their like little Twitter feud that they were having. And then when they landed, she said, oh, we're officially a couple on American soil. So I think now they're like official. And then I had a friend DM her asking her if she's really getting married. And she said, yes, we're really getting married.
Oh, well, there's some information.
You never know with Kelly.
I mean, maybe it's like, yes, we're getting married because she wants to, and it's not like all booked up yet. It's not formal.
Do you think she would move? Because he's in New York. So do you think that she would move to Real Houses of New York?
You know, if there were to be a West Coast housewife that would match New York, I think Kelly would match.
It would be the biggest train wreck, but in the best way possible.
I mean, she's organically friends with Ramona, as we know. So, yeah. I mean, you know, I'd rather have that than someone like Teresa going to Beverly Hills Housewives. Like, we don't need that. Yeah.
Oh, my God, that mess.
I want to reference an article that you wrote on Betches about basically Kelly saving RHOC from extinction. And I read the whole thing, and I got to say, I agree. Like, you were very fair. Like, she reacts. She's not even necessarily like a bad person. She just reacts like most people do.
Yeah, she has no filter, and she doesn't ever take a beat. Yeah, I gotta clarify, she never just like takes a minute.
Like, I know people are like, oh, like most people do. Like, I know people don't run around calling each other the C word, but like she's a trigger. I mean, I have a trigger. You know what I mean? People go off, and that's what I mean.
she goes off, and like, if someone says something to her, she doesn't just take a minute, think, collect her thoughts, feelings, and gets it out there. She quickly just snaps and reacts, and you have no idea what she's going to say to you. Like, when her and Shannon first met and that whole thing happened, she said to Shannon's face that you're fat. Like, she said that to another person.
Was that at the Mrs. Roper incident at the 70s party?
Yes, but they had like a sit down, as I always do, at like some little cafe, and she was like, Kelly, you said that I'm ugly and I'm fat, and she's like, well, you are.
Right,
I was like, oh my god, like, Kelly, no.
Yeah, a point you made in that article was really like, Kelly, for a season 1 housewife, she didn't have to like earn her stripes or warm up to the cameras. I mean, she came in ready to hurl insults and ready to play the game.
I love that in a housewife.
Well, I want to talk more about OC, and I want to get your thoughts on Dallas, but let's take a brief break, and then we're going to come back and get into it deeper. So hang out with us. That and more in a moment. Now this.
You're listening to Grant's Rants. Subscribe and spread the word. There are a lot more rants to come. Listen anytime on all major podcasting platforms. And now, back to the show.
And we're back on the Rants, and I'm joined via Skype by Sam Bush calling in. Welcome back to the Rants.
Thanks for having me.
Where are you calling in from?
We are getting into it.
Yes. Where are you calling from?
Oh, okay. I'm calling in from Detroit, and it's not scary.
Okay. I'm not judging.
Just have to put it out there. It's not a scary place. It's not like... I'm not going to shoot anybody.
No.
It's all good. Jax Taylor and Kristen Dowdy grew up 30 minutes from me.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
Royalty. Local royalty. Well, I want to continue this OC conversation because we were really into it, and I want to keep going.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to say, like, in my opinion, I think there is a need for Vicky on the show, and her absence is greatly noticed. I'm so unhappy that she's not on every episode.
I'm speechless. I haven't heard someone actually say that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm really pissed.
It, like, kind of out there. I've seen people say things or whatever, but I've never actually heard it. So to hear it's very shocking. Well,
that's the thing on this podcast. Like, I'm not here to impress anybody, and I give opinions that are not popular. And that's my truth.
I love it.
You know
Hot
what?
takes all around.
Yeah. And like other shows, like it's like you can't, like, if you don't share the same opinion as the host, they have to like talk them into it. Like, I welcome an alternative opinion on this show. So like that's why I just say it. I think Beverly Hills should be canceled, and I like Vicky, and those are very unpopular opinions. But
I just don't like when a housewife says this is my show.
Ugh, I don't like that
because
either.
My philosophy is like, no one's above the franchise.
Right.
Like, this is an ensemble cast.
Amen.
And I think demoting Vicky was kind of sending a signal to all the OGs, like, if you don't come prepared, then you can get demoted.
Right.
Like, that can happen. Like, Nene needs to go. Nene doesn't even want to be on the show anymore.
No, same.
I don't know why she keeps coming back. Anyways,
I agree.
That's a whole different thing.
But like on the same side with like Vicky, like, I love that she said that because it's so like inaccurate and like so in her own world. But also I hate that she said that because I always defend these shows as being ensemble pieces, and I don't like when people hold the show hostage like Lisa Vanderpump. So like I can see both sides to it.
What are your thoughts on Gina?
Gina is a mess. I think we all know a couple Ginas that just like they lose everything. They just don't know like where they're going. I'm tired of Gina talking into her phone on FaceTime and then like consulting with her dad who doesn't speak. I need her to find like a friend that she can vent to. Gina, I don't mind, but she really isn't a good match for the show, in my opinion.
I agree. Like, I want to like her. Like, there's something about her that I really like. But overall, I'm just not invested in her. Like, we have a housewife who is getting a divorce. Her husband had an affair. She's living in a house with no furniture. She has DUI. She's not showing up for court. And I'm not that interested. Like, there's a problem there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I also
agree.
like Shannon this year. I like this color on Shannon. I like what's going on. She seems lighter.
She does, but I don't see her delivering much to the show. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I need her to do something, But...
Yeah, she's just kind of in this like new headspace, though, I think.
Yeah.
And I like how she's treating Gina. I think it's like very kind.
Yeah.
Which is very nice.
I want to touch really briefly on Dallas because it's one of my top shows. I do love it so much. For me, like this most recent episode, the comment about Cameron meeting Carrie at Deandra's house for taco salad was my favorite moment of the night.
Cameron? I need Cameron to hear this. Cameron needs to invest in doing audiobooks. Like, I would listen to her talk forever. I'm obsessed with her.
I know, and it's funny because she doesn't have an accent. Like, she doesn't have a Southern accent compared to the other ladies. I know she's from Southern California, but where is that, like, Dorit, take note. Like, where is that voice coming from? Like, what is that? Like,
it's something I've never heard before.
Yeah. Like,
it's
what is that
amazing.
dialect?
And she has this, like, amazing ability to be so unaware of the joke, but yet, like, in on the joke.
Yeah. Yeah. I love her.
She kind of knows that she's a character, but she plays it so well. And I love her and her short husband.
Yes. I'm really sick of the Deandra Leanne on again, off again friendship. Will they, won't they? I said this. I had an exclusive interview here on Rants with Mama D. If you haven't checked it out yet, listeners, please do. And even she's tired of that happening on screen, and it doesn't look like it's going to change anytime soon. So I need that storyline to go away because we know it's not going to result in anything. So let's not string it out for the next 17 or however many weeks we have left. Like, what else is going on?
Well, yeah, that and they're matching hair. It's very weird. Like, they're matching hair down to their butts. It's like orangey blonde. I'm not feeling it. And there's just nothing really happening with them.
Yeah, it's not going to change. So, like, what else?
But I'm really ready for this Carrie, the new Carrie, and Leanne to maybe have some problems.
Mm-hmm. I'm ready for Leanne to tell someone off. I want her to be aggressive. She's been a little, trying to be good, but I need her to be aggressive again. We need aggressive Leanne, so I'm waiting. Oh,
yes. And, okay, what are your thoughts on Brandi from Dallas?
She's fine. I think she's earned her place on the show.
Okay.
I don't dislike her.
I get a lot of pushback from my followers when I talk about how I don't like Brandi. There's just something really dark about her, and like her husband and this baby and then her kids. Like, I don't know. There's something like very high school Mean Girl about her, but not in like a fun like way. It's just seems very heavy to me.
Interesting. I want to know more.
Mm-hmm.
So let's transition. Obviously, just from listening, that Sam knows her stuff about Bravo, and your bio, it says that you have an unhealthy love for Real Housewives and lots of opinions, and of course that's why I wanted to have you on the show, because you need to have opinions to be on the show. So I think you're a great match.
Thank you. Yes, I've been following the Real Housewives since 2008. And it was like a secret obsession of mine up until probably like a year and a half ago. Like, no one in my life really knew my love for them.
Oh my God. Like, how did you like, what was your outlet? Like, how did you talk about this? Like,
I would listen to podcasts about it. Yeah. Like, I would be in like Facebook groups. Like, I had to have an outlet to like have my opinions be heard.
Yeah.
And because like, no one in my life really watches them. My boyfriend like is slowly getting into Potomac.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
He's trying.
Yeah, my sister and her boyfriend will watch them together, and they'll purchase the seasons on Amazon, and she will make it like a whole thing like that. It's like he doesn't have a choice. Like, it's just part of their relationship.
I'm obsessed with that. Yeah, it's becoming that. He doesn't really realize that fully, but it's happening. It's happening.
Well, maybe you can get it with Dallas. Dallas is a pretty easy one to fall into, so that might be a good one.
Yeah, I think that should be pretty easy because it's pretty new, so there's not much to like really follow yet. But yeah. So
you mentioned to me previously that your first season or first Housewives was Atlanta, and back in 2008, I mean, that was kind of a prime time for that show.
It was such a good time for that show. I mean, we had Kim's synthetic wigs, we had Sheree, and then what really drew me in was their reunion looks because they were all in like yoga pants. Or like some sort of legging and like long sweater. And then Kim, I will never forget, was in this like yellow satin silk like blouse with a vest.
Right.
And I was I was like, who are these women? When Kim said that, you know, she started crying about having cancer, and then they're like, wait, Kim, you had cancer? And she's like, well, no. They're like, wait a minute. Like, do you have cancer or do you not have cancer? And I was just hooked. I was like, who are these people? I'm obsessed with all of them.
Like,
and
Kim is done with Housewives, right? Like, they'll never put her back on there.
Oh, they would never put her back. And I don't understand how she still has a show. Don't Be Tardy. I mean, when something airs on like a Friday night on Bravo, I feel like that's not really like the best look.
Yeah. I want to know which city you deem like the best and worst currently. Like, you know.
Currently.
Yeah. Because I think to make an accurate judgment, you have to watch like every episode of every season over the course from the beginning. So it's like, you know, like currently, like which show would you say is in the best shape?
New York.
I agree.
think New York has been the best show consistently. I think even season 4, people really write that season off, which I think is crazy because it's so good. With Cindy and they go to Morocco. But I think, New York has been the best consistently.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think New Jersey is starting to come back. I see it. I see like little glimpses. I'm like, ooh, that's good.
Right.
Like Margaret is really like, she's like a Kelly to me. Like she's really breathing like new life into the show.
For me, it's Jennifer Aiden. She's my favorite on that show. I love her for all the wrong reasons. I'm laughing at you. I'm not laughing with you, but like, I love her so much. You're shocked.
Again, speechless.
She's perfect for that show.
I've never heard anyone say she loves her.
She doesn't like. She's like perfect for the show. It's all show like glitz and glam, but like trying so hard. Like it's all phony. She has all of her furniture from China. Like it's perfect TV. Like I can see right through her. I know a lot of Jennifer Aidens. I think that's why.
I get what you're saying for sure, and I love that. Like she's like overlooking all of Paramus.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's so good.
I know a lot of Jennifer Aidens,
so
and
good.
I think they have everyone fooled, and it's like I see directly through her, so I love it.
That's amazing.
Oh my God, I feel like so hardcore judged. I feel so judged for this podcast.
Don't feel judged. I get what you're saying. Like, I think now I'm going to look at her through a different lens.
See, we're learning and growing on this show.
And now I need to, like, laugh at her.
Oh, yeah, no, strictly to laugh at. Like I said, I'm laughing at you, not with you. Like, it's strictly to laugh at her. Which I know is mean, but come on.
Because I think I was taking her too seriously.
Oh, no. She's a total joke. That's why I love her for it. I don't take her seriously at all. What is she going on? What does she do that I should take her seriously for? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I can't. The kids, I can't.
That's so true.
And now for the worst.
Oh my God, all her kids.
The worst city currently, in your opinion? I mean, like, for me, I mean, it's no joke. I mean, everyone knows for me it's Beverly Hills. I think the show couldn't be in worse shape. I think it's had 2 good seasons and a few moderate ones, and the last, like, 2 or 3 years have been unwatchable, so I think it's the worst one, bar none.
I agree. I think Beverly Hills is terrible. But the thing that I like about Beverly Hills, if I had to choose anything that I like, it's like wish fulfillment. Mm-hmm. Like you see them and like they're just rich. Like they have everything.
Are they though?
They have so much money.
The majority of them do. The majority of them do. Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I totally get it because you are seeing lifestyle. I get it.
It's like I like seeing that. Like I like seeing like the diamonds and the cars and the houses and all that. Like. And I'm really struggling with OC. I am. Like, I'm having a hard time investing in it.
I'm enjoying it. I don't know why. I think out of pure loyalty.
Yeah, I mean, you like Vicky.
Yeah.
Like, you want Vicky back. That's loyalty.
That's loyalty, yeah.
That's loyalty.
Before we go, I want to ask you a little bit more, just so people have more context about the Instagram ad. Any type of, like, interactions? I noticed Kyle was interacting with one of your more recent posts. Like, what are the housewife interactions like for you?
Okay, here is where me and Steve, who runs Faces by Bravo, differ a little bit. Is I love when they interact with me, but I also am terrified because they're like superstars to me. He is like so cool and calm and collected about everything and like hangs out with Bronwyn or Monique. Like I could never. I like keeping them at a distance. Like I like I don't want to become friends with them. The way I view the show, I don't want it to be altered.
Yeah.
Like, I want to strictly watch it as a viewer, like, unbiased.
I will say the housewives that I know are exactly how they appear on the show for the most part. So I'll give Bravo that credit. You know, that's accurate.
That's amazing. I heard Tamra is the same in real life.
I'm sure. I mean, if she's putting on an act, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like she comes across as an angel. It's not like she comes across classy. You know what I mean? Like, where can people find this Instagram? Why should they follow you?
You can follow me at Instagram at Bravo Historian. You should follow me because I like to do a lot of like old clips, things that I find funny. I do some memes, but it's mostly just like old clips that I find or come across or just think of. And I also do feuds every week, or I try to every week. Where I deep dive into a specific feud of a housewife. Like I just did Rinna and Kim Richards, which got very dark towards the end. And yeah, it's just fun. I don't take it too seriously or try not to. And yeah, I like being able to connect with other people that love Bravo like I do.
Yeah. Oh, well, you do a great job. I mean, there's so much content on the Instagram and the stories. You're always rolling out so many stories. I don't know how you keep up with all of it. But I'm telling you, this Instagram delivers. So check it out if you're interested. But I would, and I've been following you for a while. So thank you. Thank you for doing the podcast and ranting with me. We covered a lot. And I want to thank all my listeners for keeping up with the show. For anyone new, welcome. Again, unpopular opinions found here. My thanks to Sam over at Bravo Historian. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
This has been Grant's Rants. Support the Rants on Patreon at patreon.com/Grant's Rants. Follow Grant on Twitter and Instagram at It's Grant's Rants. Cover art created by Howie Rone. Voiceover by Aw Yeah! Original theme music by Alexander Arntzen. The Grant Michael Collection.